welcome to North York Moors Railway. Who's been before?
Oh, yeah.
You?
What's a tweet?
Talking to me, Dad. Say again? The guys do guard duty. What we're doing is, for the duration of this event, Levisham station turns into Levisham, à la française. And it's a small station in occupied France. It's not really of any military importance. So, as the war's going badly for certain people, I'm not going to mention Rolls Royce, Rover. Or that 1-to-1, that became T-Mobile. Ding, that's for the fatherland. Did you know that? So, stop heckling. If you were so important, they'd all be facing you. But they not. So, it's put me off. It's pips, eh? We turn it into a little French station, and what happens is we've got a recruiting booth over there, and you can take your pick. You join the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, or the dreaded SS. And the dreaded SS are making sure that the lovely French population, all of military age and semi-fitness, join. Because the war's going badly. Russia, 1943, we need some cannon fodder. And the Charlemagne division will fit that bill. As in keeping with most modern armies today, we're also doing a bit of a hearts and minds so that you interested French locals, because that's what you become, could come down and see the spiffy uniforms, the bling and the weapons of war, and maybe the young bloods might get a bit excited and join. I'm still ad libbing. We got some bodies yet?
It's on the way there.
Rightio.
That you've got me into.
Good man. So what we're going to do for you is none of these fire. These are the support weapons, and we've not got a Section 5 armourer with us today, so we can't fire. We can't bring live examples and fire them. But we can show you what the weapons were and what the jobs were. I will natter on while the guys come. This is an MG machine gun, or Maschinengewehr 34. When you speak about German weapons, the numbers refer to the last two digits of the year that they were brought into service. So it follows, this thing came into service 1934. So it's a pre-war weapon. It's quite a modern looking weapon. It's on a tripod in the sustained fire roll. Defensive or strong points, this thing would sit there and fire. Anybody know how many rounds a minute? You look bright, you look like you know about guns. Have a guess. Say a big number. Keep going, boss. How many? 16,000. No, your mum told you too many notes. Right? Right, too many notes. This is about 1,200 rounds a minute. So, if we work that out into seconds, anybody? Calculator, mobile phone? No? How many? Nobody do the maths?
A lot.
4. What? Well, a second. 600 would be 10 a second. 1,200 is 20 rounds every time you pull the trigger for a second. Belt to 50, therefore, would last you 2.5 seconds. Yeah? You'd spit them at you at a terrific velocity. These are a 7.92 rifle round. The range of this thing goes out to about 2.5 kilometres in the sustained fire roll. It was beautifully machined, heavy steel jacket. The barrel change, you unlock the barrel, swivel it out, drop the firing piece out, in, new one. Took quite a while to change. So in 1942 they came up with this, which also fits on a Lafette tripod, but is also a light machine gun, about 27 kilos. And this is the infamous MG42. So bearing in mind what I said, what year did this come into service? 1942, good man. Right, and this didn't have a fire selector on it or anything. This is another 1,200 rounds per minute, but on a tripod you can get this up to 1,600 rounds a minute. It's the fastest firing single barrel machine gun ever built. This particular weapon, in this form, rechambered to 7.62, is still in use with armies as far apart as Canada and Pakistan. The Spanish use it, it's known as the Chetney machine gun. A lot of them are going over to the Minimis, the 5.56 machine guns. support guns. But what they're finding in the Gulf and in Afghanistan is that the 5.56 round is not got enough hitting power, so they're all going back to the full power 7.62 or 7.92 rounds, or 7.62. The MG42 was known as Hitler's buzzsaw. It had a very distinctive sound, and it literally sounded like tearing linoleum. In Russia, I'll go back to this one. In France, this was a three-man gun team: a commander, a gunner, and a loader. And between them, they would carry about 900 to 1,000 rounds of ammunition. This gun, when they got to Russia, was up to a six-man team. Every man in a squad would carry ammunition for it. They would carry nearly 5,000 rounds for one of these things. Such was the rate of fire, and such was the numbers and the size of the opposition, that to hold the Red Horde at bay, these things would glow in the dark. I'm running out of words because we've still not got bodies. Yeah. Right, we'll go on to that one. So as we can't find, what we're going to do is a little bit of a time thing, which would have been done as a competition into service. This thing would move forwards with the infantry in a support role. So what you've got to do is you've got to dismantle the weapon off the tripod. You've then got to fold the tripod up. The two pads are backrests, and here are shoulder straps. So normally this will be carried at rucksack style. What we're going to ask a couple of guys to do is strip this down, fold it up, move it to the other emplacement, and put it back up. It's between 90 seconds and 2 minutes is the target time. You'll see why, because of the weight of the components. What we want them to do is unload it, dismount it, fold it, transport it, assemble, mount, load, cock, ready to go. So, to willing volunteers.
You and you. First time I tried was actually 10 minutes.
Dick and Dove. This is a bolt action. You've just seen him work the bolt. It's manually operated. It's a bolt action, full bore rifle, fires the same cartridges as the revolver, 7.92. It's fed from an integral 5-shot box magazine. The advantage of this weapon over the British Enfield is in fact its accuracy and range, and the operation of the bolt, which cocks when you open it. The Enfield cocks as you close it, which makes it harder to cycle. The advantage of the Enfield is 10 shots. So if they'd have combined the two, which has been done later, the Mauser would have been a superior rifle. As it were, they were matched. Firepower over accuracy. The Gewehr 98, last two numbers again, was incepted into Army service in 1898. Right, see if you can knock 5 of the cans off for us. It's like he's behind you, isn't it? Don't think they know. Right, go on. Everybody guess what's going to happen? Look at that. Oh, he missed. He hit the post. Told you he needed that. The Mosin Nagant was built by a blacksmith in a Russian tractor factory. If you shake a Mosin Nagant, it rattles. You should have change in your pocket when we do that. If you hold the bolt on a Mauser and shake it, no noise. Tolerances are much better. But this thing relies on sheer power. The cartridge that this fired would knock an elephant down. So the range was there. There were tens of thousands of Russians, and they fired volley style rather than picking the shots. So simply a little audio test, because there's not much more to do except shoot the rest of the cans. Two at once. It's a shotgun. Oh, we missed altogether there. And he missed another. Can you hear that boom up the valley? What an awful piece of kit.